drink a little coffee from my Zelda mug. You're gonna get some death metal top 10 of 2015 so far from a dickhead wearing a Mario shirt. My name is Thomas Mergel, Headbanger GTFO. Now, when it comes to this list, it's subject to change by the end of the year. This isn't definitive. These are just some of my favorites from this year. The first one I'm going to talk about, these are going to be a brief description. I'm not going to do a full, detailed run-through / review of each album. But to start this off, I'm going to do Skinless's Only the Ruthless Remain. This album, this band started off as like a death grindcore kind of album, but this album to me sounds more death metal than their previous workings. It's really good shit. Very heavy. I like the way it's arranged. Vocals are really good. The music is just scary, and it's just good stuff to headbang to. Next on this list will be Morbid Vomit's Return to the Crypt. This album is a mix of both of their previous EPs and released on Blasthead Records, and I'm really glad they did. They included a Ghost BC cover of Prime Mover, and Ghost BC is kind of one of those meh bands for me, and when it comes to that song, they actually, when I first heard it, I didn't know it was a cover. I thought it was an original. So I went back, listened to the original, and then came back with this cover, and I had more appreciation for it because they made it so much better. It's so heavy. Morbid Vomit is along the lines of Swedish death metal like Bloodbath or Entrails, but Morbid Vomit do it better. They're one of my favorite bands from that area. Next up is Ancient Wind. The Chosen Slain is the name of their album, and they're a mix of a monomarth melodies with Immortals attack and atmosphere. It's really good. When it comes to, and they're from Colorado, when it comes to their songwriting, it's really good. It's really enthralling. You feel like you're swords in hand and you're just off to just destroy people. Very good stuff. I love that album. Next up is one of those albums that never heard of them before. I got the promo in my email, listened to it, and was like, fuck yeah, it's top 10 shit right there. I can't stop listening to it. I reviewed this in April, and I'm still listening to it on a pretty regular basis. It's Veld, Demonic, the art of Dandelion. This is just incredibly heavy death metal. They pull off the scariest pitch harmonics I've ever heard. The tone is just ungodly. The drumming is ruthless, and vocals are just really, really good. Next up on this list, Sarpanatum, Blessed Be My Brothers. This is just crushing death metal. It kind of has like a Morbid Angel take, meets Nile in a way. It's very good instrumentally. Production is top-notch stuff. Vocals are very solid death metal. Let's see, 10 songs of just incredibly heavy stuff. Been out since February, and it's still holding strong with me. Okay, now this next one is on Gorehouse Productions. The name of the band is Devast. It could be pronounced Devast, I don't know. Into Decimated Reality. This is the first brutal death metal album of this list. Something that was sent to me months ago, and the artwork was just incredibly gross. Just I don't know if it's a three-headed creature or just three different creatures coming out of a hole, it looks like. And there's just gore everywhere, and it's just really scary looking. Well, the music matches that sound. It's really good stuff. It holds well with me. Anytime I'm going through my CD collection, I'll see that album and I'll pick it up and listen to it. I'll jam that motherfucker on the way to work, and I'm awake. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to kick some ass. And next up is Abiotic's Casuistry, or Casuistry. Terrible at announcing or pronouncing this stuff. Abiotic's last album was their debut on Metal Blade Records, and to be honest, they were good, but there's just something about the vocals and the way they wrote their music that it was talented music, but it didn't flow well with me. With Casuistry, this album, I can listen to this thing back to back to back. It's quick, it's heavy hitting, it's raw, it's technical, and the vocals are so much better this time around. Abiotic really have their shit together now, and they are a band to watch for. And Metal Blade Records did a good job on signing them. This next one, I listened to this probably 10, 11 times in 1 week when I first got it to review. The review is up on the website now, and this is a band I've listened to for over a decade now. I was more a fan of Cannibal Corpse than I was this band at first, but 6 Feet Under really grew on me, and a lot of people don't like 6 Feet Under or Chris Barnes or whatever, but I don't give a shit about the drama. I've always listened to the music and liked the music. Didn't care for Undead and Unborn, but when it comes to Crypt of the Devil, it's really good. It seems like they're back to their haunted ways. Like there's solos on every song. The riffs. Swanson is back on his A game when it comes to riff writing. The bass sounds good. The drumming, like every rhythmic is like their groove is just what is 6 Feet Under. Besides Barnes's trademark vocals, and this album really brought it back home for me. I really have let 6 Feet Under kind of go by the wayside and just haven't really paid attention to them. Didn't like their last 2, 3 albums, and this one was really good. Those riffs will get stuck in your head. Barnes's vocals, while he isn't as strong as he used to be, it's a lot better than what he was doing in the last previous couple records. So if you haven't given that a try, definitely do. It's really good, I promise. And this is coming from a 6 Feet Under fan who has been faithful for this long, but even was very skeptical on listening to this, and it was really surprising how good it was. Next up is Parasitic Ejaculation's Echoes of Depravity. When it comes to this band, it's kind of like, it's definitely slamming brutal death metal from, I think, California, yeah, Santa Cruz. And Echoes of Depravity is really well written, really heavy. The slams are just fucking gnarly. The productions is just solid. It all just sounds good. It's all compressed together. But they still sound raw and heavy. They don't lose their integrity. The songs are heavy hitting. There's some really excellent bass work happening here. And on top of that excellent bass work is some really great riffing. I love it. So be sure to check that out. Lastly is a band that reminds me of if Immolation, if Immolation, Hate Eternal, and Old Morbid Angel came together to form the most excellent fucking death metal sound, it would be this band, Heaving Earth, Denouncing the Holy Throne. I heard this back in January, I believe, and the riffs are just so, I just got goosebumps just thinking about it. The riffs are so fucking good. The way everything's written is good. The songwriting, compositions, the vocals, everything is just masterful. This is one of those albums that I feel like is not gaining the traction it deserves. This is one of the best albums of the year. Right now, like all these are in no specific order, but I'd say Heaving Earth is definitely top 3 for me. From front to back, this is good. None of the songs get old. None of the songs get. There's no repetition. Everything's adventurous. Everything is incredibly heavy, and I think you need to check them out. I'll have links down below for everything I've talked about today in this top 10 list so far. So I'll make another one of these in 6 months, and we'll find out what's really the best. We still have really good albums coming out from Nile, Cattle Decapitation. I would classify them as death metal these days. They're not grindcore. And yeah, August is looking really heavy. So stay tuned. Have a good day. Take care.